Imagine a Bugatti left to gather cobwebs in a British garage, or a Ferrari buried in a Californian backyard, relics of a bygone era waiting to be rediscovered. From the glamour of a Lamborghini abandoned in an Athens car park to the enigma of a sunken Bugatti raised from a lake's depths, these are not just cars, they are legends carved in chrome and steel. Join us as we explore the 20 most incredible abandoned cars that actually exist. Number 20. Bugatti Type 57 S Atalante Coupe. The Bugatti Type 57 S Atalante Coupe, a marvel of automotive craftsmanship, made headlines on January 2, 2009, when it was discovered in the garage of a late British doctor. This rare, unrestored 1937 model quickly captured the attention of car enthusiasts and collectors worldwide. Just a month after its discovery, on February 7th, it was auctioned in Paris, fetching an impressive $4.4 million. This exquisite black two-seater is one of only 17 57 S Atalante coupes ever produced by Bugatti. It had been under the care of English orthopedic surgeon Harold Carr since 1955. Carr, who passed away in 2007, had kept this automotive treasure parked in his garage since the early 1960s and hadn't driven it in 50 years. The vehicle's storied history traces back to its original owner, Francis Richard Henry Penn Curzon, the 5th Earl Howe, a notable figure in British motor racing. Earl Howe was not only the first president of the British Racing Drivers Club, but also a winner of the prestigious 24-hour Le Mans race. Constructed in May 1937, the 57 S Atalante Coupe was a technological marvel of its time, capable of exceeding 120 miles per hour, a significant feat when most cars could barely reach 50 miles per hour. Its design featured a low-slung frame and a distinctive V-shaped radiator, while the interiors boasted luxurious pigskin upholstery. At the time of its auction, despite decades of inactivity, the car was still in good condition, with only 26,284 miles recorded on the odometer. Number 19. Ferrari Dino. Imagine finding a Ferrari buried in a backyard. That's exactly what happened in 1978, when some kids digging in a California yard stumbled upon a Dino 246 GT. This wasn't just any car discovery. It was a Ferrari Dino, known for its iconic curves and revered status among sports cars. The story of this Dino 246 GT reads like a crime novel. In December 1974, the car was stolen from Wilshire Boulevard. The owners were inside the Brown Derby restaurant, celebrating their anniversary, unaware of the fate befalling their prized possession. The car had only been driven 501 miles since its purchase by a plumber as an extravagant gift for his wife. Financially overextended, he had secretly arranged for the car's disappearance to avoid his hefty car loan obligations. Instead of destroying the Ferrari as planned, the hired thieves couldn't bring themselves to dismantle such a beauty. They chose to bury it in a yard, where it remained hidden until those kids unearthed it 4 years later. Once recovered and turned over to Farmers Insurance, the now legal owners due to the insurance payout, the car attracted so much attention that it was placed on display in a warehouse. There, sadly, nearly every removable part was stolen. However, this story does have a fortunate twist. The Ferrari Dino was eventually purchased and sold to Brad Howard, who lovingly restored it. Howard has been driving this Dino around Los Angeles for over 30 years. Number 18. Lamborghini Miura P400S. The Lamborghini Miura P400S is a marvel of automotive design, epitomizing the glamour and prestige of the 1960s jet-set lifestyle. Unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show in 1966, the Miura was a masterpiece from the mind of Marcello Gandini at Bertone, known for its breathtaking aesthetics that could dazzle onlookers in New York, London, or Paris. As a P400S, this model incorporated several enhancements over its predecessor, including electric windows and optional air conditioning, crucial for maintaining comfort in the warmer climates. Distinctive features of this particular Miura included engraved alloy air vents, passenger grab handles, a gear lever, electric window switches, and ignition switch surrounds, setting it apart as a unique specimen among its peers. During its era, it was celebrated as the fastest car. However, one specific Miura P400S did not enjoy the limelight it deserved. This car ended up abandoned in the underground car park of the Athens Hilton. The owner, an amateur race car driver, had pushed the vehicle to its limits and, after extensive damage, left the car in the garage when the engine was removed for repairs. He subsequently abandoned the Lamborghini, failing to settle his repair bill with Lamborghini, which led to the car being held at the hotel for nearly 30 years. In 2003, a significant twist in the car's fate occurred as the Hilton Hotel prepared for renovations ahead of the 2004 Summer Olympics in Athens. The Miura was then moved to a storage facility, where it sat alongside a similarly neglected Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. The revival story reached a climax in 2012, when the Miura went up for auction with a newly installed engine. It attracted considerable attention, eventually garnering a bid of $483,210. Despite this impressive sum, it failed to meet the reserve price. Number 17. Bugatti Type 22 Brescia. The Bugatti Type 22 Brescia, produced in the early 1920s, is a legendary car known for its engineering excellence and racing pedigree. Named after Bugatti's success in the 1921 Brescia Grand Prix, this model featured a robust four-cylinder engine, capable of producing 50 horsepower, and a lightweight design that emphasized speed and agility. This particular Bugatti story took a dramatic turn when it was discovered submerged in a lake in 1967 by a diver. Over the years, this waterlogged artifact became a popular attraction for a local sub-aqua club. The car's mysterious fate was linked to an attempt to avoid Swiss import duties in 1963, which led to its watery grave. Given that the car was already 11 years old at the time, the cost of the duties likely surpassed the vehicle's value. The Bugatti remained untouched beneath the lake's surface for decades. It wasn't until 2009 that the notion of salvaging the Bugatti took a heartfelt turn following the tragic death of Damiano Tamagni, a young member of the Sub-Aqua Club who was murdered by thugs. In his memory, the club decided to retrieve the Bugatti from the depths and use it to generate funds for a charity established in Damiano's honor. This recovery operation captured global attention, with footage of the car being raised from the lake circulating around the world. In 2010, the weathered and water-damaged Bugatti Type 22 Brescia was auctioned by Bonhams in Paris. It fetched £205,925 and was acquired by American Bugatti collector Peter Mullen. Mullen has chosen to preserve the car in its as-found condition. Number 16. Ferrari F40. The Ferrari F40, an iconic symbol of speed and innovation, was developed to surpass the Porsche 959. It quickly captured the admiration of automobile enthusiasts globally and secured a coveted spot on many wish lists. This legendary car holds the distinction of being the last model approved by Enzo Ferrari himself, marking it as a significant piece of automotive history. It was among the most expensive and powerful cars available at its launch. One remarkable chapter in the F40's history involves Uday Hussein, son of the former Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. During the First Gulf War, Uday received a Ferrari F40 as part of his extensive luxury car collection. After his assassination by United States Special Forces in 2003, rumors surfaced about the Ferrari being abandoned and left to decay in a desert, its location unknown. This mystery sparked immense curiosity among car enthusiasts, including YouTuber Radarasa. Radarasa embarked on a quest to locate and restore the forsaken F40, documenting his journey and even sharing images of the sand-covered Ferrari, urging his viewers to help identify its whereabouts. The search pinpointed the car in Erbil, the capital of Iraqi Kurdistan. Chris from Gas Monkey Garage, also intrigued by this abandoned treasure, traveled to Iraq to assess the car's condition. Unfortunately, he discovered that the F40, missing intercoolers among other vital parts and laden with sand, was in dire shape. Considering the logistical challenges, no agreement was reached to transport the car to the UK for restoration. Currently, the car resides in a garage, a far cry from its sandy grave. Its owner has placed a hefty price tag of $1,150,000 on it, a striking sum for a vehicle that once lay forgotten. Number 15. Mercedes 300 SL. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing is an automotive legend, renowned not just for its innovative technology and stunning design, but also for its mysterious appearances around the world. One such story revolves around an abandoned 300 SL Gullwing rusting away on the vibrant island of Cuba. This tale of the forsaken luxury car gained traction after Jeremy Clarkson highlighted it in the Motor World series in 1996, and Michael E. Ware revisited the story in Automobiles Lost and Found in 2008. Despite these mentions, the car's existence oscillated between rumor and reality until an antique car enthusiast and globetrotter, Miguel Lorente, took it upon himself to unearth the truth. Determined to find this elusive gullwing, Lorente embarked on a 2-week expedition across Cuba. His journey led him through Havana's affluent neighborhoods and beyond, engaging with local mechanics, parts store clerks, and residents, showing them images of the 300 SL taken by Michael E. Ware, likening his search to looking for a missing child. Lorente's persistence paid off after following numerous leads that initially seemed to lead nowhere. Amidst the debris and under the shade of a tree, he discovered the iconic gullwing, now a shadow of its former self, deteriorating and nearly split in half. This find was not just a personal victory for Lorente, but a significant discovery for car enthusiasts who had followed the story of the Cuban gullwing for years. Number 14. Ferrari Barchetta. The 166mm was a pivotal model in Ferrari's early days, designed for both road and race. It is famous for its victories at prestigious events like the Mille Miglia, hence the MM in its name, which stands for Mille Miglia. This particular story unfolds with a 1950 Ferrari 166mm Barchetta, chassis 0052M, a veteran of iconic races like Le Mans and the Targa Florio. The car's journey into obscurity began following the death of its longtime owner, Reg Litton, who had imported the vehicle from Switzerland to his home in Scottsdale, Arizona, in the late 1950s. Litton enjoyed racing this exquisite machine against his friends with Maseratis, until a mechanical failure sidelined the Barchetta. It then sat abandoned in his backyard, exposed to the harsh elements for 50 years. The narrative took a turn when Litton's children, recognizing the car's value and historical significance, alerted Ferrari collectors to their find. One collector saw the potential and bought the car sight unseen for $1 million. This new owner chose to mechanically restore the Barchetta, but kept its battle scars and patina, which told the story of its adventurous past. His efforts paid off when he unearthed further details of its racing pedigree, leading to a trophy win at the prestigious Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. The car's saga did not end there. It was eventually sold to a Polish collector for €3.5 million. Number 13. Ferrari 250 GTO. Known for its astounding beauty and staggering auction records, the Ferrari 250 GTO is often dubbed the Picasso of the automotive world. This masterpiece of Italian design was produced by Ferrari from 1962 to 1964, and is often celebrated as one of the greatest Ferraris ever built. Interestingly, a Ferrari 250 GTO was discovered hidden in plain sight for 14 years in a field next to its owner's home in Ohio. Joe Corton, the car's owner, acquired this automotive jewel in 1972 for a mere $6,500, a sealed bid from a Texas high school. Instead of cherishing this rare right-hand drive vehicle, which had been raced in 1962 by renowned driver Innes Ireland, Corton left it sitting on a trailer, exposed to the elements. His children even used its bonnet as a slide, oblivious to the car's historic and financial value. The car's fate took an interesting turn during the GTO's 20th anniversary meeting in 1982, when Innes Ireland himself learned about the neglected state of the car he once raced. Driven by nostalgia and passion, Ireland visited Joe Corton's home. To his dismay, he found the GTO languishing in a field of long grass. Despite his efforts, Corton refused to sell the car, promising instead to store it undercover in a shed and to give Ireland the first option to buy if he ever decided to sell, a promise he unfortunately did not keep. Number 12. 1976 Lotus Esprit. The 1976 Lotus Esprit, a quintessential vintage sports car, boasts a story as captivating as its design. This particular Esprit gained fame from its role in the 1977 James Bond film, The Spy Who Loved Me, where it transformed into a submarine and launched missiles underwater. Yet decades later, this iconic car was found forgotten, buried under old blankets in an unclaimed storage unit. The discovery was made by a couple at a blind auction, where buyers are unaware of the contents they are purchasing. Initially oblivious to the car's storied past, the couple was stunned to uncover a piece of cinematic history. Recognizing the significance of their find, they opted for a cosmetic restoration to return the Esprit to its former glory. In 2013, the Lotus Esprit was put up for auction through Sotheby's. It caught the eye of many, ultimately selling for $997,000. The mysterious buyer later revealed himself as Elon Musk, the renowned founder of Tesla. Musk expressed his whimsical disappointment to Jalopnik that the car did not actually possess its movie-inspired transformation capabilities. Despite this, he hinted at other ambitious plans for integrating advanced technology into his automotive ventures. While Musk did not convert the Lotus into a functioning submarine with ballistic features, an admittedly tall order, he did channel inspiration from the Esprit into designing one of the most anticipated vehicles of recent times. Given the Lotus's impactful origins, it's almost a playful letdown that his innovation wasn't named after the legendary Lotus itself. Number 11. The Bullitt Mustang. The Bullitt Mustang, a 1968 Ford Mustang GT fastback, captured the imagination of car enthusiasts and film buffs alike when it roared onto the big screen, driven by Steve McQueen in the iconic movie Bullitt. Known for its high-speed chases through the hilly streets of San Francisco, this car became an emblem of cool and a symbol of automotive prowess. Lost to the public eye for nearly 40 years, the discovery of the Bullitt Mustang in 2018 was a monumental event in the automotive world. When it resurfaced, it was covered in dust, its body showing signs of age and the rigors of its storied past. Yet even in its weathered condition, the Mustang exuded a timeless allure, its presence a direct link to the golden age of Hollywood and the era of muscle cars. The excitement around its recovery was palpable, stirring the passions of collectors and fans who had followed its legend for decades. The Bullitt Mustang's reappearance brought a piece of cinematic and automotive history back into the spotlight. This culminated in a fever-pitched auction at Mecum, where the car was sold for a staggering $3.7 million. Number 10. Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. The Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren is a remarkable grand tourer, a product of collaboration between German automotive giant Mercedes-Benz and British car manufacturer McLaren Automotive. At the time of its creation, Mercedes-Benz held a 40% stake in the McLaren Group, contributing to the development of what became one of the era's most iconic hypercars. Introduced as a limited edition model, the SLR McLaren quickly became known for its unique blend of luxury and performance, rivaling the likes of the Porsche Carrera GT and the Ferrari Enzo. Unlike its competitors, which focused on raw performance, the SLR McLaren was designed with a greater emphasis on grand touring, offering a sophisticated balance of speed and comfort. Under the hood, the car boasted a 5.4-liter supercharged V8 engine, which delivered an impressive 617 horsepower, making it a powerhouse during its heyday. However, despite its engineering and luxury, one particular SLR McLaren met an unfortunate fate. Abandoned since 2011, this specific SLR McLaren has been sitting unused in a police parking complex, seized by local law enforcement as part of an ongoing investigation into its owner. Over the years, the lack of maintenance has taken its toll. Exposed to the elements and possibly infested by rats and other creatures, the vehicle's electronics, engine, and brakes may have suffered extensive damage. Key components could be completely seized, rendering the car inoperative without significant restoration work. If the car is ever released from police custody, it's likely to be auctioned off in its current condition. Number 9. The Lost Jaguar Lightweight. In the world of classic cars, the discovery of the 12th Jaguar Lightweight in 1988 turned heads and set hearts racing among automobile enthusiasts. This rare vehicle, one of only 12 ever built, had been a mystery for decades. Known simply as Number 12, it was only when World War II air ace Howard Gidlovenko passed away that the missing Jaguar Lightweight resurfaced, hidden in his garage. Purchased with the intent to race, this Jaguar Lightweight had barely touched the track. In a dramatic turn of events, it was partially dismantled in 1963. As part of a bitter divorce settlement, Areas of its paint were even ground away to make it appear like a wreck, obscuring its prestigious lineage and sleek design. Subsequently, this automotive treasure sat neglected for 35 years, its potential and history gathering dust. The car's fate changed dramatically at the Monterey auction in 1998, where it fetched £540,671. Recognizing its historical significance and immense value, the new owner sent it back to England for a full restoration. Entrusted to the skilled hands at Lynx, a company renowned for its expertise in restoring classic Jaguars, Number 12 was meticulously restored to its former racing glory. Number 8. Dodge Charger Daytona. The Dodge Charger Daytona stands out as one of the most spectacular designs in the history of Dodge, crafted specifically as a homologation model for NASCAR races. This model's production was limited to only 505 units, making each one a rare piece of automotive history. Despite its exclusivity and racing pedigree, one of these legendary cars was left to deteriorate in a barn in the Wisconsin countryside, hidden away and forgotten. This particular Daytona was discovered rusting and decaying, yet its market value remained impressively high, estimated between $150,000 to $180,000. When it was first released, the Dodge Daytona cost only about $4,000, a stark contrast to its current value as a collector's item. This car had changed hands just once, maintaining nearly all its original components, except for a non-original flame paint job. From the iconic rear wing to the original front bucket seats, clock in the dashboard, speedometer cluster, tachometer assembly, and the floor transmission shifter. Every detail remained as it was decades ago. Despite not having been driven for almost 30 years, the Dodge 440 Magnum 5.8 engine and the Torque Flight 3-speed automatic transmission were still intact, preserving the core of what made the Daytona a formidable presence on the track. The history behind why this car was abandoned and how it ended up in a barn remains shrouded in mystery. Number 7. Chevrolet Corvette C3. A 1978 C3 Corvette, with just 1,599 miles on the odometer, has emerged from a 45-year slumber. This automotive gem, encapsulated in time, was tucked away behind old garage doors enveloped in overgrowth and vines, hidden from the world for nearly half a century. The journey to bring this Corvette back to its former glory was no small feat. WD detailing team embarked on a full-day endeavor just to access the vehicle, replacing the vine-covered garage doors that concealed this classic. The car, a testament to vintage allure, was finally extracted and transported back to their warehouse, where the real work began. The detailing process was intensive. While most of the dirt was removed with soap and a pressure washer, the bumpers posed a significant challenge. These components, made from plastic instead of the more common metal or fiberglass, had absorbed more dirt through heat cycling over the years. It required vigorous scrubbing with a stiff brush and substantial elbow grease to restore their original luster. What's remarkable about this Corvette is the condition of the interior. Thanks to the foresighted decision to seal the doors and windows, the bright red leather inside was preserved almost impeccably, appearing nearly as vibrant as it did in the late 70s. However, it wasn't completely untouched. Mice had made their way in, leaving nests and droppings behind. A thorough vacuuming and scrubbing were necessary to revitalize the cabin to its near-original state. Thanks to the meticulous efforts of WD Detailing, this 1978 Corvette has been transformed back to showroom condition. The next step for the owner is getting the car mechanically sorted to bring this once-forgotten classic back onto the road, where it truly belongs. Number 6. Aston Martin DB4. In the world of classic cars, stumbling upon an Aston Martin DB4 tucked away in a barn is akin to discovering hidden treasure. Recently, Gulling Motor Cars unveiled just such a find, a barn-kept DB4 that hadn't seen the light of day for decades. While it's not listed on their site, the photos and details provided speak volumes about its condition and the kind of forgotten story that makes car enthusiasts' hearts race. This Aston Martin DB4, a model cherished for its elegance and powerful performance, was imported from the UK in the 1970s by a then-young owner. Now, at 85 years old, the gentleman recalls driving it for only a few years before it was relegated to barn storage. The reasons remain unclear, perhaps mechanical issues, or simply a lost interest in this once beloved ride. Over the years, the barn has not been kind to this piece of automotive art. Covered in dirt, grime, and adorned with dents and scratches, it presents a melancholic but intriguing spectacle, a train wreck you cannot look away from. The asking price for this rare, ultra-valuable sports car is a steep $300,000. Despite the hefty investment required to restore it, the DB4's desirability among collectors is undeniable. Someone with deep pockets and a passion for classic cars may well see the potential to return this beauty to its former glory. Before we move on, here's today's subscriber's pick. Deep in the secluded woods lies an astonishing relic of automotive history, a Batmobile replica, seemingly abandoned and forgotten amidst fallen leaves. This iconic vehicle, inspired by the 1989 Batman movie, was once the pinnacle of fan homage, meticulously crafted to mirror the dark and imposing silhouette that captivated audiences worldwide. How it ended up discarded in this forest remains a mystery as intriguing as the caped crusader himself. Was it a project of passion that outlived its glory, or perhaps a secretive collector's item that somehow strayed from its hidden lair? What do you think the story behind this forgotten Batmobile might be? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Number 5. Plymouth Superbird. The Plymouth Superbird, a high-performance masterpiece, was designed with one purpose in mind: dominate NASCAR. Born out of the success of the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona, Chrysler crafted the Superbird to continue its winning streak into the 1970 racing season. This engineering marvel not only met but exceeded expectations by clinching victory. In a remarkable find, a Plymouth Superbird was discovered abandoned in West Wareham, Massachusetts. Left to withstand over 10 winters in the woods, the car was in a deplorable state. Despite the extensive damage and exposure to harsh elements, the inherent value of a Superbird makes any restoration effort worthwhile. Known for fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars when fully restored, the potential to return this Superbird to its former glory excites car enthusiasts and collectors alike. Number 4. Shelby Daytona Coupe. Discover the legendary Shelby Daytona Coupe, a marvel of American engineering and racing history. You may know the Shelby Cobra, but the Daytona Coupe takes the legacy a step further. Out of the Shelby headquarters, only 6 Daytona Coupes were ever made, making each one a priceless piece of automotive lore. The first of these, chassis SCX-2287, served as the blueprint for the others. After a highly successful racing career, driven by none other than legendary racers Phil Hill and Bob Bondurant, SCX-2287 vanished in the 1970s. It wasn't until 2001 that this iconic car re-emerged from decades of private storage, instantly sparking a fierce legal battle over its rightful ownership. The saga concluded when the Shelby Daytona Coupe found a permanent home at the Simeone Foundation Automotive Museum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where it was purchased for an astonishing $4 million. Number 3. 1977 Pontiac Trans Am. The 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, immortalized by its starring role in the film Smokey and the Bandit, is more than just a car. It's a cultural icon that epitomizes the muscle car era of the 1970s. This model year is particularly celebrated for its sleek design, powerful performance, and the legendary Screaming Chicken decal sprawling across its hood. Recently, a 1977 Firebird Trans Am was unearthed in an Idaho barn, causing quite a stir among eBay buyers. This particular find has 56,000 miles on the odometer and shows significant sun damage to the paint and decals. Despite these cosmetic flaws, this Trans Am is a gem for collectors. It has never been involved in an accident and remains rust-free, making it an excellent candidate for restoration. Number 2. 1960 Chevrolet Corvette. The 1960 Chevrolet Corvette, part of the C1 generation, is often critiqued for its performance, but remains an undeniable classic that paved the way for one of the longest-running sports car lines in America. Known for its stunning design, particularly in the convertible version, the C1 Corvette embodies the essence of vintage American sports cars with its sleek lines and distinctive styling. In Thomaston, Georgia, automotive enthusiasts were thrilled by the discovery of a red 1960 Corvette in an indoor garage. This particular Corvette, once belonging to a former General Motors dealer, stands as a testament to the model's enduring appeal. Despite having been stationary for several years, the car was found in decent shape, capturing the hearts of gearheads and collectors alike. Number 1. DeLorean DMC-12. The DeLorean DMC-12, often remembered for its distinctive role in the Back to the Future movies, combines iconic design with a storied past. Despite its reputation for having an underpowered engine and high maintenance costs, the DeLorean's wedge-shaped body and gull-wing doors have cemented its status as a collectible classic. A fascinating discovery was made when a DeLorean DMC-12 was found in a warehouse, where it had been sitting neglected for years. The car, though not in running condition and showing signs of neglect like rough spots on its stainless steel finish, presents a unique opportunity for restoration. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.